Russian forces launched missile strikes on vessels used by the enemy for transportation of military cargoes, among other things. The Belize-flagged NS Moon and Palau-flagged Optima dry cargo ships were damaged, with the latter attacked twice in 1 week. In Mykolaiv, a missile strike hit a local armored plant used for repairing equipment. At least 3 precision hits were recorded on one of the plant's workshops and an area with an overhead crane. In addition, Russian troops continue to hit energy infrastructure in the border area with Russia. As a result of combined raids, 2 substations in Chernihiv and Sumy regions were damaged. At the same time, Ukrainian forces launched missiles from airplanes at facilities in Crimea for the first time in a long time. The Russian armed forces' air defense systems shot down 5 missiles, and 3 more were suppressed by EW means. There was no damage to critical infrastructure. In the Bryansk region, the AFU attacked the administrative capital of the region with drones. As a result of drone detonation, the facade of one of the shops of the 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚 plant was slightly damaged. On Sunday night, Ukrainian forces once again massively launched UAVs at Russian territory. The air defense forces on duty destroyed 110 drones, most of them over the Kursk region. Ukrainian saboteurs carried out a remote detonation of a car in Luhansk. As a result of the detonation, 1 man died on the spot. Another person was injured. In Kursk region in Koronevsky district, Russian troops continued to fight in Lyubimovka. Most of the village is under the control of the Russian armed forces. To the south, the AFU are also retreating. In Sudzhansky district, the Russian armed forces broke through the AFU defense and liberated Novoivanovka. They are fighting on the approaches to Viktorovka and in the area of Leonidovo. On the opposite flank, a paratrooper under cover of an armored group attacked the AFU positions west of Ruskaya Konopelka. On the Slobozhansky direction, there is fighting on the outskirts of Zhuravlevka. In the forest south of the village, there is still the presence of enemy forces, which the Russian armed forces are striking with artillery and other means. In the Kupiansk direction, Russian troops have made significant advances towards the left bank of the Oskil River. Recently, attacking aircraft have managed to gain a foothold on the southern outskirts of Kolesnikovka, as well as reach the center of Krylyakivka. In the Lyman direction, Russian troops finally liberated Nevsky. Having moved out from the Zhuravka Gully, the paratroopers landed in the southern and central part of the village, after which the Russian flag was hoisted on the northern outskirts of the village. In the Siversk direction, fighting continues near Verkhnokamianske. Russian attack aircraft are attempting to gain a foothold on the heights north of the village, but have so far been unsuccessful. On the Artemivsk direction, Russian forces took control of about half of the Oktyabrski neighborhood. To the south, assault groups attacked AFU strongholds on the T0504 road and advanced to the Block 9 mine in the sand pit, planting a flag on one of the buildings. On the Oleksandrivske Kalinove direction north of Novorodivka, Russian troops advanced east of Leonidivka. In Dzerzhinsk, assault aircraft knocked the enemy out of positions on Donbaska and Pushkarenka streets. In the Pokrovsk direction, west of Novorodivka, Russian attack aircraft have gained a foothold on the territory of a village on the right bank of the Solenenka Gully. To the south, the operation to cover the Ukrainian garrison in Selidov from the flanks continues. On the Donetsk direction, Russian troops conducted a successful attack west of Tsukurin, conducting a landing. To the west, Zhelan Druhe was liberated, and fighting is going on in the center of Sofiivka. also taken most of the positions in the fields west of the latter. To the south, Russian forces broke through enemy defenses and completely knocked the AFU out of Maximilianivka within a few days. At the same time, the Russian armed forces extended their zone of control along a section of the N15 highway leading to Kurakov. In the South Donetsk direction, the attacking aircraft gained a foothold in the center of Katarinivka in the area of Mira and Shevchenka streets. To the south, Russian troops entrenched in the fields west of the air supply shaft of the Yuzhno-Donbasska No. 3 mine and also knocked out the AFU south of Zolota In the Vremivka direction, Russian troops continued their offensive after the liberation of Levadna. In the course of several attacks, they managed to significantly expand the zone of control north of the village, gaining a foothold along the Hrushevata River and gully. In the Zaporizhia direction, there were no data on offensive activity of both sides during the week. Ukrainian forces, in their turn, continue shelling the energy infrastructure of Enerhodar. On the Kherson direction, Russian troops hit a boat with an AFU landing force near the island of Samova Kosa. The enemy damaged a bridge over the Konka River north of Oleshki as a result of shelling.